former President Trump's daughter Ivanka is set to testify today at the state's final witness in the civil fraud trial against her father, two brothers, and the family company. Former President Trump, Donald Trump Jr., and Eric Trump all took the stand already, trying to distance themselves from the company's finances. Now Ivanka will be taking the stand reluctantly after losing her bid to get out of testifying. Earlier, the New York Attorney General said Ivanka is inextricably linked to the company's fraud.
Ivanka Trump secured, negotiated loans to obtain favorable terms based on fraudulent statements of financial condition. And she will attempt today to distance herself from the company. But unfortunately, the facts will reveal that, in fact, that she was very much involved. We uncovered the scheme, and she benefited from it personally.
And I want to bring in ABC News senior investigative reporter Ivanka Katersky outside the courthouse and ABC News executive editorial editor John Santucci for more. Aaron, despite what we just heard from the Attorney General, Ivanka's no longer a defendant in this case. So why was it so important that she testify?
She's no longer a defendant in the case because an appeals court here in New York ruled, Diane, that her conduct that was alleged fell outside the statute of limitations. But the Attorney General's office still wants to ask her about it because they believe it is connected to conduct on the part of her father and her brothers and the company and its executives that is within the statute of limitations. And specifically, they want to ask her about a couple of different properties she was involved with, namely the old post office in Washington, D.C. Former President Trump converted it into a high-end hotel while he was in the White House, and he sold it. Made a lot of money on the deal, $139 million, according to the Attorney General's office. Ivanka Trump walked away with about $4 million of that. And that, to the Attorney General's office, is ill-gotten gains of fraud. And so they want to press Ivanka Trump specifically about that and what else she may have known about her father's financial statements.
And we just saw that video of Ivanka arriving at the court earlier today. John, as vice president for the Trump organization, what exactly was Ivanka's role? And how does that relate to this case?
So all three children held the same title at the end. They were all executive vice presidents right below their father as far as the organization of the Trump organization leadership was concerned. For her and her brother Don, they were part of new deals, new acquisitions. So as Aaron just mentioned there, the old post office was one of them that Ivanka worked on. She also worked on Trump Chicago. Any properties that were building up the hotel portfolio were something that Ivanka and her brother Don were a big part of. She was more domestic, he was more international. Eric's job pretty much was to keep the lights on and keep the company functioning. So really, that's the questions for her today about the deals. What happened when they would go get loans? What happened when it became tax time? She will have those answers because she was a key part of that.
And Aaron, we heard former President Trump, Don Jr., Eric, all try to distance themselves from the finances here, saying things like, you know, we don't go through the details to verify all the details in a document. We trust our accountants to do that. So what do you expect to hear from Ivanka today?
Very much those same kinds of things. In a deposition that she sat for last August in connection with the case, Ivanka Trump claimed not to know very much about her father's financial statements. She acknowledged he probably had them, but said that he had accountants who prepared them, and she wasn't personally involved and so didn't know any of the specific details. Now, the Attorney General's office disagrees with that. Attorney General Letitia James believes that Ivanka Trump, the Trump children, and even the former president were all intimately involved in the preparation and knew that their father wanted to seem richer than he actually was on paper. And that was important to him. And she has alleged that his children knew that that was one of his desires. So expect that she'll face questions about what she may have known about her father's desire to appear far wealthier than perhaps he was.
John, Ivanka was also a senior advisor to her father when he was president.
Yeah.
She's not participating in the campaign for 2024.
Right.
What's the relationship like now? What are you hearing about that?
It's so interesting because Ivanka was the one in 2015 that introduced Donald Trump
yeah,
to
and
the
she was
political
always
stage.
by his side.
Right by his side. Down that escalator they went together when the campaign kicked off. And she was the only one of the Trump family to be in the White House. Her office in the White House, Diane, was right above the Oval Office. And now she's pretty much gone off, as she says, a private life. Think about Donald Trump's third kickoff to the White House. Everybody was there except Ivanka. So they still talk. There's still a dialogue. She spent the summer at Bedminster for a portion. She has a home there along with her father. But outside of that once close, thick as thieves, if you will, relationship they had, it's gotten a little bit strayed.
All right. Senior investigative reporter Ivanka Katersky, ABC News executive editorial producer John Santucci. Thank you both.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.